Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. So for those that are tuned in for the first time, we do have another live stream event that's going to be at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's our Sunday Stock Talk. That's our big event every single Sunday where we break down stocks for this upcoming week. But I wanted to cover this very simple concept. I've been getting this question a lot, and I want to make sure that everyone that's messaging me about this question, I'm not getting offended or annoyed in any way. It's just I feel like I could explain myself better in this video, and I can just send people this link to this specific video. So this is all it's going to be about. This is a concept. It's not something that you personally have to implement yourself. It's just how many of you have struggled with entering a reversal. So what do I mean by a reversal? A reversal is like when a stock is showing signs of a downtrend, when it's becoming very oversold, but it shows signs for a potential recovery. So I'm going to show you an example and in a series of ways that I think that you can test out how to enter a proper reversal. I want to be like as open-minded as possible. And again, this is my trading style. This is not something that you have to implement yourself. This is something that I would encourage you to do with paper trading. But obviously, so many people are using the Robinhood application and want to become more familiar with trading with real money. Because I know there's a complete difference with something of like trading with fake money than real money, right? So I want to also offer this alternative for those that are trading with real money but are using Robinhood. A thing that you guys can leverage is that you don't have to pay for a commission, right? So you don't have to pay per entry nor exit. And one thing that I think that you could do very well with is learning how to maybe enter a position more effectively and focus less on the actual like how much money you're going to be making and actually focus on understanding like how to properly enter a reversal. And I hope that this video can do you guys justice when it comes down to being able to have a better understanding on how to identify a reversal. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm using the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. This is the platform that I use. It's not the one that you have to use yourself, but kind of like this. So for like TNDM, a lot of the questions that I've been getting, and again, this is just by FAQs that I've been receiving, and that's why I'm making this video, is, well, Ricky, like I'm looking at the MACD indicator, it's showing signs of it being overextended. Like sometimes I get in a little bit too early, right? It continues to descend, one of the worst feelings, right? So that's why we always say wait for the confirmation. And then sometimes people say that, okay, well, I get in too late, meaning that like I waited for the reversal, but by the time that I'm getting in, it already covered so much margin that I'm kind of like scared to even enter the position. How many of you guys have ever been in those shoes? I feel like all of us can say that, okay, we've definitely been on both ends. Sometimes we get a little bit in a little bit too early. Sometimes we get in a little bit too late. One of the biggest things, like let's just focus on understanding that like entering and exiting a position are one of the most important things, and it's going to be different. There's like never an exact indicator or an exact pattern, because people always try to like find, oh, Ricky, what is it that like you do exactly for every single trade? Well, every single trade is different. So the reason that I want to like share this practice, right? And again, it's nothing, no secret, no magic, right? It's just this practice in a way that you could become more comfortable and more confident with entering and exiting positions. So this is a concept either for those that are paper trading, that I think that that's what should be implemented, because again, there's no monetary risk, or the people that are trading with Robinhood to simply buy one share and test out this week. If you're someone that's been red, meaning that you've been losing money in your account week after week, month after month, and you've just been struggling to grow your account because either you've been entering a position too late, entering a position too early, or just trading just patterned wrong altogether. One of the things that I think that we could focus on, and especially for this week, let's say for this week or for the next 2 weeks, let's ignore everything else and let's just focus on refining yourself as a trader. So when it comes down to your entry, I want you to become more confident with it, right? So instead of focusing on, because if I were to take like, a 500 share position on TNDM, especially with the price point in which it's at right now, the MACD looks decent, the RSI looks decent. There is no full-on confirmation. So again, I usually like to wait for it to trend, to push up, pull back above the EMA indicator, and still go through those normal practices. For all those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit, you guys know exactly what it is that I look for when it comes down to entering a reversal. But again, it's much easier said than done, right? Waiting for a pullback confirmation, being extremely patient. But the thing that we can practice this week, and this could be a challenge for this week and for maybe 2 weeks until it becomes second nature to you. But you need to dedicate time to really become more comfortable with your entries and your exits. And one thing that I think that we can do is to ignore the idea of how much money you're trading with, to ignore the idea of how much money you can make, just to solely focus on getting in and waiting for the confirmation, but practicing with just buying one share. Obviously, it would be more useful trading stocks that are not, thousands of dollars for something like Amazon, as the risk could be a little bit higher with that in the sense of the monetary aspect. I think the ideal scenario would be practicing with paper trading, which is with simulation trading. But if all of you guys have Robinhood and you simply just want to practice it with real money, to not focus on buying a large amount of shares, but solely focus this week and next week. Again, if you've been struggling to grow your account, just to buy one share. All of you guys know, if you guys have watched any of my videos on YouTube, you know exactly what it is that I look for when it comes down to entering a reversal, right? We like to wait for the MACD to start reversing. We like to wait for the RSIs to start pointing up. We like to wait for the pullback confirmation as it breaks above the EMA line and it pulls back, bounces off the EMA line, and it makes higher highs. Everyone knows what we should be waiting for, but it's very difficult to implement. So one thing that I would encourage people to do is, if you can invest, right? If you've just been struggling so much for this week and maybe for next week until it becomes second nature, to simply take one position, one share, focus on a quality trade, still make sure that the stock meets all the criteria. And this is the time that you can prove to yourself, again, because you're not buying one share to make tons of money. You're buying the share to prove to yourself that you can become more confident and comfortable taking these positions. And you'll see, with the one share, you won't have as much emotions. You won't be as scared to take the position because you know that it's for practice. And this is where you're going to start to learn, like, what did you do well, right? You could recap your trade after you enter and after you exit, or after you stop loss. You know the emotions are not coming into play. Like, what could you have done better? What did you do well? And again, taking notes, making sure that it becomes second nature and that you learn from it. That's all this video is. A lot of people are trying to come up with, like, hey, Ricky, what is it exactly that you are doing? Or maybe, like, let's say that this is the first video that you have watched for me or of mine, right? And then you follow other YouTubers that make videos about, like, investing in the stock market, investing in Forex, whatever the case may be. But again, you're so focused on making that dollar return that it almost consumes, like, the entire trade. You're so overwhelmed with just making a profit that it becomes so overwhelming. So again, forget about all that BS, right? Let's solely focus on making sure that we identify a confirmation, that you enter a position when you feel comfortable, and to not overthink it, right? This is the time where you're going to practice. This is the time where you're going to refine yourself, and this is where you're going to identify your specific, unique trading style. We're all wired in different ways. So the way that I might see value might not be something that you see value. There's actually a neighbor of mine. I just moved into this, like, new house, right? So there's actually a neighbor of mine that came on over and told me the series of stocks that he trades, and he trades very low cap momentum stocks. And I was just like, that's great to hear. And he's like, what do you think about them? And I was like, well, I don't trade any of those because I think the risk is too high. Does that mean that I think that the way that he trades is complete trash? No. We're all wired in different ways. We all see value in different ways. And that means that's fine, 100%. But the thing that you cannot, like, if you are part of TechBud Solutions, which is our free private trading community, right? We have over 160,000 members. Do I really think that the 160,000 members that join our group are going to trade exactly like me? No, you're not joining our group because of exactly how I trade, but it's because of the environment within our community to encourage you to find your own trading style. And again, this isn't somewhere where you're going to be spoon-fed. This isn't somewhere where you're going to be told what to trade. This is where you're going to really need to invest time to actually understand what it is that you are investing in. And that's what I think really is going to differentiate those that are successful and those are not in the stock market, is those that are willing to dedicate time to refine themselves as traders and to actually figure out what works well for them. Not what works well for me, but to actually identify what works well for you. So again, that's all this video is. I want to thank you guys again so much for watching. Let's see. Okay. I was trying to read some of the comments. Okay, Alberto saying, give a promotion so I can join, learn, plan, profit. And again, I like it. So what's going on, Trinity? What's up? What's up? There's someone that was asking for like a discount on the course right now. I don't know if you guys could see the live chat. You guys should be able to see it, right? But again, that's not really what I want to focus on. So again, for those that are thinking about enrolling in the Learn Plan Profit course, they do get to watch me trade live every single morning. But again, the course is not going to be something that like is going to just open up these like doors and you're just going to fully like understand like everything about what the stock market has to offer. The course offers, you know, the videos that we have with, you know, the Learn Plan Profit lesson library in a way that I think is very easy to understand, and it's structured in a very easy way, right? So it's much easier to just understand the information that's being shared. Also, you get to trade with me every single day, and you get to surround yourself with a bunch of other people that have completed the course, so their general knowledge of investing in the stock market is much higher. So the information that's being shared is much greater as well. But again, it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And that's why we set all these like precautions of making sure that you paper trade before you get started and that you really understand. So many people are so focused on like, there's this kid that said he had like $30,000 or $50,000. He direct messaged me. He's like, hey, I have $30,000. I'm about to start trading. What do you think I should do before I get started? Practice with paper trading. I don't care how much money you have. It does not matter. As of right now, your sole focus should be refining yourself as a trader. That should be your sole focus. If you're having trouble cutting losses, you should invest a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Forget about making money. Again, we have years. We have years down the road to make money, right? Practice, identify, write down the top 5 mistakes that you make nonstop that you have not been able to fix, and you need to invest an entire week, then the time that is needed until it becomes second nature to not make those mistakes again. So if you're having trouble entering a reversal, forget about making profits. Practice with paper trading or simulation trading, whatever it is that you want to do, and maybe taking one share, right? One share, and refining yourself to understand how to properly enter a reversal. Because when you're buying one share, you're not buying it to actually make money, you're buying it to practice. And that's the beautiful thing about it. If you're having trouble cutting losses, buy one share, and again, practice it. Do whatever it is that you think you will feel comfortable. Again, I don't even want to tell you to buy one share. You do whatever it is that you want, that will make you feel comfortable. But I just think by buying one share of whatever it is that you see value in, forget about the margin of profit that it has to offer. Focus on the quality and refining yourself as a trader to actually understand what you are doing. That's all. So I hope that you guys learned something from this video. If you guys did, we'd really appreciate the thumbs up. If anyone's having trouble with reversals, then I think this concept about that, like the buying one share and refining yourself and practicing it until until you actually understand what you're doing, will make a lot of sense, right? Because we're going to minimize the overall monetary aspect of loss, right? And we're going to focus on actually understanding how to properly enter reversals. And again, I still think paper trading is the best way on how to get started. But for those that are a little stubborn and that want to trade with real money, then again, I think that one share option is definitely something that we could all, see value in. So thank you guys again for your time. I'll see you guys at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our Sunday Stock Talk. Hope you guys are all having an amazing weekend, and hopefully we can end this week on a green out. Take it easy, team.